Defining your circle of competence is the most important aspect of investing. It's not how important, how large your circle is. You don't have to be an expert on everything. But knowing where the perimeter of that circle of what you know and what you don't know is, and staying inside of it, is all important. Tom Watson Sr., who started IBM, said in his book, he said, "I'm no genius," he said, "but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots." And that is the key. So if I understand a few things, and I stick in that arena, I'll do okay. And if I don't understand something, but I get all excited about it because my neighbors are talking about it, and the stocks are going up and everything, I start fooling around someplace else, eventually I'll get creamed, and I should.
This is a clipping from a 2017 speech of Warren Buffett. The circle of competence, a concept which has been popularized by him and which also sums up his investment philosophy of 80 years. Namaste everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Pooja Sharma, and in today's video we are going to talk about the circle of competence. Let's get started. In his 1996 letter to shareholders, this is what Warren Buffett had written. What an investor needs is the ability to evaluate selected businesses correctly. Note the word selected. You don't have to be an expert on every company or even many. You only have to be able to evaluate companies within your circle of competence. The size of that circle is not very important. Knowing its boundaries, however, is vital. To simply put, what he means to say is, each one of us, through our study or life experiences, has built up knowledge in certain areas of the world. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been to a restaurant? Most of us have been to a restaurant, and needless to say, we have a basic understanding of the economics of how a restaurant works, right? You rent or buy a restaurant place, you spend money to decorate that place, you then get the right equipments for cooking, you then hire employees who can cook the food and serve the food to your customers. From there on, it's a matter of attracting enough customers and setting the right price to generate profit on the food you serve after all your operating expenses have been paid. Now, though the cuisine, the atmosphere, the price points will vary from one restaurant to another, they will all have to follow the same economic formula, right? With basic knowledge, along with some understanding of accounting and a little bit of study would enable anyone to analyze, evaluate, and invest in any restaurant or restaurant chains. It's not that complicated, trust me. But still, can most of us say that we understand the working of a semiconductor company or a biotech drug company? No? I don't know about you, but I simply do not understand how they work. Because while some businesses are understood by most of us, but there are businesses, there are areas which require a lot more speciality to understand their business model. This is best explained by the Euler diagram. In this, the inner circle is called as our circle of competence. In this circle belongs the things in which we are actually good at. And outside the circle belongs the things in which we think we are good at but are actually not. Now comes the main question. So, how do we apply this to our investment philosophy? As per this concept, an investor must carefully select the stocks of those companies whose business model he understands well enough. If he invests based on the outside perception of the company or on the recent market trends, then his stock picking is based on a superficial knowledge which invites a high possibility of making mistakes and even investing in bad companies. As Warren Buffett puts it, it is very imperative to identify the companies dealing in your core competency areas and start with investing in them. But you must note here that this circle of competence will be extremely narrow when you're just starting out, but it can be widened over time slowly. It has been observed that people tend to make more mistakes in picking up stocks when they move away from this discipline. Most successful investors identify the perimeter of their circle of competence and, more importantly, they operate inside it. But over time, they continue to build up the knowledge and competence in those new areas in which they would like to invest in the future with sufficient knowledge. Going back to the earlier diagram, here your investment target should be to invest in the company companies which are falling in the circle 1, that is your innermost circle. Please note that the size of the circle does not matter. What matters is that you do not move out of the circle unless you have gained enough knowledge to do so. So while you start your investment journey within your circle of competence, you must also simultaneously keep working on those companies that fall in the circle 2. Then over the years, as you would have gained enough knowledge about the companies falling in the circle 2, you will also get opportunities to invest in them. Just like Warren Buffett did with buying Apple in 2016 and Amazon in 2019. In early 2000s, Buffett didn't like tech stocks. He found himself incompetent to invest in companies like Apple or an internet company like Amazon. So he stayed away from them until he gained enough knowledge about these companies, their business model and their strategies to finally invest in them heavily. I hope the concept is clear now. So to sum up, the key takeaway from this video is that to create wealth in stock market, a few assured picks are far better than over diversifying your portfolio by investing in thousands of companies about which you have very little to no knowledge. And you must not get confused when I say that invest in companies which you understand well. You really don't need to hold a degree or you need to be a master to understand every company. Even an average investor can understand most companies by just putting little effort in studying and researching on them. As Peter Lynch said, our biggest research tools are our eyes, ears, and common sense. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found this video useful, helpful, knowledgeable. If you did, give this video a thumbs up because this would mean a lot to us, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done it already. Share this video with at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people maybe, and let this YouTube algorithm know that this video is worth sharing, that this channel is worth growing. Keep spreading love. I'll see you next time. Bye bye, namaste, and take care.